come into our house of peace and love, of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Troop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Good morning to all of our friends joining us on the live stream. Today we celebrate our collaborative energy at Troop, and this is our annual meeting Sunday. The annual meeting will take place immediately following worship in Troop Hall. That is through the double doors at the back of the sanctuary. All are welcome to come to the annual meeting. You can get a cup of coffee, grab a pastry, and there's lots of seats in there for us to engage in the business of our congregation. And in church life, each and every week that we're together, we experience in our real lives that phrase that joy and sorrow are woven fine. And next Sunday, we will definitely be experiencing that as we say farewell to our beloved intern minister, Nick. I know, he served faithfully for 2 years, and now it's time. Like a butterfly, Nick will spread his colorful wings, and there he is, flying away now to whatever ministry has in store for him next, right outside the windows. And of course, he'll continue to be a beloved former intern minister here at Troop, and I'm sure we will see him back at the appropriate time. But please come next Sunday and help us celebrate and bid farewell to Nick. And after service, if you are interested in learning more about Troop or becoming a member, you can talk to one of our greeters, but you'll have to be fast because they'll be on their way to the annual meeting to run that. Our greeters today, Paula, and also, I think, Christy. And each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of prayer and healing with words from Pamela Rumanchik. Let us remember that one is not a whole number, that we need both roots and wings, that strength comes from relationship and mutuality, that we know life in and through one another. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Troop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
As we continue to gather together, our opening hymn is Gather the Spirit, number 347 in the great hymnal, and I invite you all to rise and sing out as body and spirit allow, number 347.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour, our gods in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in praise, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit of our heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in stone. Nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in praise, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
Take a moment, turn to your neighbor, and tell them how glad you are to be gathered in spirit with them this morning.
Oh my gosh, what even? I know. All right. Gotta have some fun some mornings, though, right? Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in praise, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather in peace, gather in praise, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
Would like to invite to the chancel this morning our very own Malcolm Hawks.
Okay. For the record, I have absolutely no idea what's happening.
So, gathering to celebrate today, we as a congregation are so proud of your recent milestone. As of yesterday, Malcolm Hawks is now Dr. Malcolm Hawks. We tried to get Malcolm to wear their regalia today in worship, and that didn't happen. It was maybe going to be a little much on the piano, but I heard that maybe for annual meeting, Dr. Hawks will come in full doctoral academic regalia. Yes, we want that, right?
I'll look like a wizard, so there we go.
A wizard, we'll take it. You are a wizard in so many ways. A wizard of love, of music, of friendship, and warmth. And the congregation has a gift to honor this momentous achievement. And just so you know, there's a bird and musical notes, and it says, changing their tunes and the end, and Paula crafted this beautiful bag specifically for Malcolm.
This is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. We're super proud.
This month, images of butterflies adorn our sanctuary. They are reminders to us of the power of change and our UU value of transformation that calls us to collectively grow spiritually and ethically. A caterpillar enters its chrysalis alone and emerges as a solitary butterfly, but their lives are not spent in solitude. Many butterfly species roost in groups, offering each other protection. They find strength in relationship and mutuality. In what ways have you been supported by this community through life's many changes? We ask you to reflect on the ways you've been held by this church. As we share our true promise to our planet, the words are in your order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect Earth's sacred and abundant gifts, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. We're going to ask for you to please turn to page 436 in your gray hymnals now for our responsive reading. It was written by David C. Pohl, a retired Unitarian Universalist minister. And the congregation will respond to my reading by reading the phrases in italics. Okay, here we go. We come to this time and this place
to rediscover the wondrous gift of free religious community,
to renew our faith in the holiness, goodness, and beauty of life,
to reaffirm the way of the open mind and full heart,
to rekindle the flame of memory and hope, and
to reclaim the vision of an earth made fair with all her people one.
Amen.
And this morning, another celebration. We are starting a new tradition that on the third Sunday of the month, there's an opportunity for people who are ready to become members of the church to sign our membership book. And I would like to invite Cynthia McDonald, president of the board, and Chuck and Renee Murray to the chancel.
Chuck and Renee, we are so pleased that you are choosing to be members of Troop. Membership in a Unitarian Universalist church represents many things. It's the acknowledgement that you have found a deep sense of belonging here. Your membership affirms the promises we make to one another, to prioritize our relationships with each other, understanding that our shared covenant is based on mutual trust. Church membership contains spiritual aspects to it as well as governance aspects. In the fall, you will participate in the member ceremony that highlights the spiritual aspects of membership. Today, we note the governance aspect by having you sign the membership book. Signing the book and making a financial contribution grants you all the privileges of being a member of this church. The names in this book go back to the 1930s, and today you will add your names to this long history of people who have loved the world from the heart of Pasadena. You may now sign the book. Welcome into Troop membership. We are so glad you're here.
And our children enjoy their own sense of belonging in the Kids Dig In program. You have a practice of singing them into the program. The lyrics are in the order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
This morning's wisdom inspired by our earth is titled In Heaven by Mark Bellantini, longtime Unitarian Universalist minister. It's true. When our ancestors spoke of heaven, they meant moments like this. When they went on about nirvana, they imagined a place like this. When they sang of paradise, it was this morning they imagined. A time when all the mysteries of life and death are blended in a community of praise. When the bones of ancient lovers are given flesh against our own skin. Teachers of long ago speaking of love and truth once more in lives so ordinary, they're extraordinary. Blessed is our breath in and out. Blessed is our sitting, our fidgeting, our movement. Blessed is our heartbeat, echoing the pounding alleluias of distant stars. Blessed is the silence that is presence, not absence.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die. We dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something there to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe that sharing is the answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy in being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
Sounds like there's a doctor in the house. Sorry, such a ham. Love you, Malcolm.
Love you too.
This church is our church. It's your church. We support it through our gifts of time, our gifts of talent, and our gifts of treasure. We pause each week in worship for a moment of financial generosity and ask you to make a donation to Troop. You can give online. The directions are in the order of worship, or place your gift in the offering plate. If you are a first-time visitor, please let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you for supporting our life together. The offering will now be gratefully received. If you'd like to follow along, the offertory song is "To See the World," number 398 in the gray hymnal.
To see the world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an arm. To see the world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service. I would like to thank our live stream operator, Ripley, our greeters and ushers, Teresa, Christy, Paula, and Mark. I'd like to thank Faith, leading our children's program, Tom, our coffee and conversation host. I'd like to thank Jessica for all of your administrative support, Estrella for lighting the candles this morning. I'd like to thank Dr. Malcolm and choir. We just can't say that too much right now. Doctor. Nick for your faithful internship ministry. I'd also like to pause for a moment, and on behalf of our stewardship committee, I'd like to thank all of you that filled out a giving card. Some of you filled out a physical one, and some of you filled one out online. Thank you. We have made it to 73 participation rate. Yes, and I got to tell you, stewardship committee feels really excited about that, as do I. And if you're one of those people that likes to wait until the very last minute and be the very last one to turn in a card, people, today is your day. Yes, it's your time to shine. It's your time to shine at Troop. There will be some giving cards available at the back of the sanctuary or as you go into annual meeting, and we are gladfully still accepting those. And you can choose any amount. Even a gift of $1 goes toward our trying to get to 100% participation. And really, we say that because we want to have that fuzzy, good feeling that all of us are contributing as we can in all of our different ways, including financially, to help support this amazing church, which is your congregation and does so much for all of us throughout our lives. So I'd like to thank the stewardship committee, Christy, Karen, and Jesse. And one more reminder that filling out a giving card also means you get one of those cool purple shirts that says "We Lead with Love," and you know you want to be seen at Trader Joe's and Ralph's in your purple shirt. You might see Tom there. We run into each other all the time at Trader Joe's. And as we pause right now in recognition for all of the ways we support our Troop community life, I invite you to share those words of gratitude that you'll find in the order of worship. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share.
Not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the broken deep inside. I am light. I am light.
I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am
And I invite you to breathe into those last notes. Taking a breath in and exhaling. Gently closing your eyes. Being aware of your breath as it moves in your body. And we enter a time of prayer. Breath of life and breath of love, we are called to make change together, to tend to relationships, and we know there are times that we fail to be fully present to our community. There are times we try to make change on our own. And when we do that, we say it's because the need is too urgent, but the truth is sometimes we don't want to take the time to listen to others. Maybe we say it's because we work best alone. But the truth is sometimes we don't want to give up control. Sometimes we might even say we don't need other people, but the truth is we are just afraid to be vulnerable. And forgive us of those times. And as we think about the many ways that we also breathe and give light and life into the world, we also want to hold and lift up the times that we have loved others, that we have loved God, or what we name as sacred, those times when we did trust, when we risked vulnerability, when we allowed ourselves to be changed and changed again. Remake us so that we know life in and through one another. And remember us as one community so that we together can be change makers in the world. For all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen. And our musical reflection is We Would Be One. It's number 318 in the gray hymnal. And you're invited to sing along with the choir and Dr. Malcolm.
We would be one, as now we join in singing a hymn of love
one we pledge, as one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice, strive to make us free.
If you have been feeling a call, a draw to be a change maker out in the world, let me tell you, it comes as no surprise because our congregation was founded by a change maker way back in 1886, and her name was the Reverend Florence Collick. Yeah. Our congregation's founding energy was that of change, pushing boundaries, and limitless possibilities. An attitude of, come on, y'all, let's get out there and do this thing. A significant contributor to that outlook was Reverend Collick herself. Amos Troop specifically chose Reverend Collick to help start this church. They did not randomly bump into each other sipping lattes in Old Pasadena. No, he reached out to her. He wanted her. Collick was a graduate of St. Lawrence Theological Seminary in 1875. That was a Universalist seminary, and the Universalist seminaries were the first to welcome in women. And after graduation, she was ordained as a Universalist minister. Reverend Collick attained a national reputation, and she traveled to England even to speak and teach and learn. And newspaper accounts from her day all across the United States described her like this: a powerful female preacher, embodiment of inspirational enthusiasm, wonderfully magnetic, carries forward her audience as if by magic, and I know, she's a magician. And she was broad, I don't know exactly what that meant, intense, and original. That was her. So you can see why Amos Troop, a successful businessman, was eager to have Collick as the founding preacher for First Universalist Parish of Pasadena. She was a sought-after speaker for the suffrage movement and many other progressive causes. Reverend Collick devoted her life to reclaim the vision of an earth made fair and all her people one. Today, we at Troop continue that legacy of fighting for justice and equity, of loving this world, of honoring the worthiness of all beings and their right to flourish. And this month in worship, we are studying the characteristics of being a change maker. And by change maker, I mean a risk taker, someone who puts their faith into action, trying to make a difference in the lives of others. We began the month by looking at how change makers take creative risks. Last Sunday, we looked at how change makers want to create peace in the world. And today we learned from change makers who prioritize collaboration and who realize that when we all work together, our impact is so much greater. So this word, collaboration, when you hear that word, what does that mean to you? Working together, yeah. Anything else? Ooh, a brain trust, says the seminarian in the pew. Open exchange, yeah, those are all really good ones. Oh, synergy, yeah, I like that. Those are all really wonderful. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, broad also says a seminarian.
No one person gets to take all the credit.
No one person gets to take all the credit. I'm going to say that that's foreshadowing for later in the sermon. Doctor. See what happens when you get your doctorate?
You get really bold and mouthy. Okay.
So years ago, I worked on a multiple person staff team, not in this church. And someone in a leadership position, they often talked about how our staff team collaborated. And I know they really meant well when they said that, but frankly, my experience and that of some other people on the staff team, our experience was that that person and maybe sometimes some other ones, well, they told us what to do. And sometimes they second guessed our decisions. And so, frankly, as a member of the staff team, I will say that did not feel very collaborative. And so, what I like to call that experience was friendly cooperation. And on our troop staff team, and there are 5 of us on program staff, we have a shared written objective. And in that objective, we intentionally removed the word collaboration. And thanks to Malcolm's input and the agreement from the rest of staff, we decided that we were going to use the word partner. And this came out of an acknowledgement that each one of us on the troop staff team, we all carry our own areas of expertise, and we share our knowledge and our unique skills to create beautiful worship and to help fulfill the mission of Troop. And I call this a successful and enriching thought partnership. Yeah. And in both of these instances, my experience on the staff group and my experience here at Troop, it's not that collaboration was not seen as a worthy goal. In the case of my former staff group, there were a lot of us, and we were spread all across the United States time zones, and we all had our hands full with more projects than any one person could reasonably be expected to complete. And attempting real collaboration in that context would have been unwieldy and incredibly time-consuming. And friendly cooperation was more expedient. And at Troop, our staff work is grounded in mutual respect, a high level of trust, fun, and I'm sure that you're very surprised to hear that right now, and genuine care and appreciation for each other. And thought partnership really encompasses how we strive to work together. And you may have your own experiences of collaboration at home, at work, at school, and community organizations where the culture didn't really support full collaboration. Or maybe your team or group chose a different strategy to really fulfill the potential of each person in that group. But for a church community like Troop, where the church, and we say this every Sunday, really and truly is yours, collaboration is a key ingredient to our growth and vibrancy, for our vision of an earth made fair and all her people one. And lucky for us, our founding energy wasn't only that of change and pushing boundaries and limitless possibility. No, it was also collaboration. That is just a part of who this church is. When Reverend Collick arrived here in 1886 to stir up some good trouble with Amos Troop, she strode off that train solo, but she was by no means all alone. Reverend Collick was part of a web of collaboration that was called the Sisterhood Clergy. The Sisterhood Clergy. And you can read all about it in the book Prophetic Sisterhood. But this was a group of around 50 women ministers, Unitarian and Universalist, who were serving congregations in the West in the late 19th century. And remember that at that time, the West seemed to be anything west of the Mississippi, even Chicago. That was all the West. And these women showed up for each other. They had to. They were serving in these geographically isolated areas that were far removed from the liberal East Coast. And unfortunately, most, not all, but most of the male clergy, both Unitarian and Universalist, were not at all supportive of their ministry. Boo, says the seminarian from the pew. Neither denomination offered tangible support for them, and both denominations put up significant barriers to them serving congregations and doing ministry, despite the fact that they were okay to ordain them. So these sister clergy turned toward one another. They preached at each other's ordinations, they presided at each other's weddings, and they officiated at one another's funerals. They shared the stage at suffrage rallies, they arranged pulpit exchanges and visits, they attempted to create bridges among their congregations. They shared frustrations, strategies about how to grow and tend to the church, pedagogies for adult and child learning. They lamented over the male-centric language in hymns, and they wrote new ones. These women, they were change makers of their time, pushing boundaries and rewriting the script of what it looked like and sounded like to be a liberal minister in their day. They harnessed the power of collaboration to grow their churches and advocate for social reform. And it's that same spirit of collaboration, that same spirit of a can-do attitude that infused the founding of this church. And that is a strength we can rely on today as we sustain and grow this community. This afternoon, right after worship, is our annual congregational meeting, which I decided last week after impromptu singing an annual meeting theme song, Dr. Malcolm, next year, I think we need an annual meeting real theme song. All right, yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. And we have an annual congregational meeting because of our ecclesiastical structure, because the way we are governed is that of congregational polity. And really all that means is that you, truth, you are self-governed. Can you believe that you are in control of this gorgeous building? No one's coming in and telling us what to do with it. You decide. You're in control of our inspiring garden that hugs our church and welcomes people in. You, the congregation, select your own leadership. You approve a transparent budget, and you set a vision for the future of our church. You're voting on those things today at the annual meeting. And our polity is all about you, the church, showing up for each other, having hard conversations, asking clarifying questions, and providing thoughtful answers. And our polity really does rely on collaborative leadership. Not one person running everything. Thank you, Malcolm. Not one person's opinion being more important than someone else's. And your board of trustees has practiced this kind of collaboration really beautifully over the past year. And you will see that reflected in the annual meeting packet, in the budget that is being presented to you, which came out of a lot of conversations and maybe a little bit long board meetings, but they did it. And the vision that you all came together twice after worship under the facilitation guidance of our intern minister. It's the vision that came out of your hopes and dreams, and you're voting on that today. That's really cool and amazing that that's our church. This collaboration means trusting, it means risking, and honestly, it means holding more dear the collective future of this place than any one person's particular wants and wishes. And in this way, being a member of Troop asks a lot of you, but it's asking it in a really good way. Because through your active participation, this church is your church. And I think if somehow, miraculously, we were all to look up right now in this moment and Reverend Colick was striding down the aisle of this church. Can you see her there? Her eyes flashing with determination. Come on up into the pulpit, Reverend Colick. Standing here with me, seeing your faces from what I always say is the best seat in the house. Her heart would be full because you, this congregation, is what she put her energy into. You, us, now is what she birthed. And I think her heart would burst with pride knowing that 140 years ago, her faithful ministry really did take root here in Pasadena. And we are still here carrying forward that vision of an earth made fair with all her people one. Good job, congregation. You've done it. And love will continue to guide us in all we do. Let's sing together. Our closing hymn is Love Will Guide Us, number 131 in the Gray Hymnal. Sing out as body and spirit allow.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can hear from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Love will guide us. Love will guide us through the hard night.
And take the hand or shoulder of someone near you. Our chalice and candles are extinguished. We take their light with us. May the light from this community fill your lives with beauty, hope, compassion, and joy. And may love guide you right into the annual meeting. I love you all. Go love the world and vote. Amen and blessed be.